What is going on, guys? You're watching Mike, your musical vegan beast. And today's a special day because the new year's right around the corner, and I figured this would be the perfect opportunity for us to look back at 2023 as a whole, to see how well this channel's been doing, see the milestones that you guys have helped me accomplish throughout the year, talk about future plans with the channel, and actually my story dates even further back than that. I've got a long history with YouTube. I'd love to share with you guys, love to talk about. And of course, what better way to do all that than with, drum roll please, that's right, PowerPoint presentation, baby. Oh yeah, taking it all the way back to high school and college. Back in those days when I used to have PowerPoints and, class projects like that. If you guys know, then you know. And if you have, let me know in the comment section down below. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Or should I say, if you want to see all that and more, be sure to stick around! Kicking things off, we've got the first slide, which is titled Humble Beginnings. And as you can see here, your boy's got a lot of history with YouTube. I joined all the way back in 2007, and this was with my first and last name, so I would have been about 12, going on 13 at this time. And I met up with some friends of mine. One of them, his name was Chris. I met him back in elementary school when I moved out here. I moved to Florida back in 2004, and at that time, I think I was going to 4th grade or so. And then in 2007, since I was 12, 13, I would have been in like 6th grade, going on to 7th, something like that. But yeah, I met up with my buddy Chris. He was into bikes and scooters, and he had a friend of his, I forgot his name, but he was into skateboarding and stuff. So we made a video series. It was called Scooter Masters. And essentially what I would do is, I had a Razor scooter. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys ever had a Razor scooter. I think they still sell them too. Essentially what I would do is grab the handlebars, and I would push the scooter with my feet up in the air and then just try to swing it around, like a helicopter, try to swing it around my head, or do some cool tricks and then jump on it to land on it. More often than not, I didn't actually land on it because I didn't know what I was doing. Like, come on, guys. I was a child. I didn't know what I was doing. But Chris, he was actually better at that stuff than me. But I had fancier looking tricks. They look cool. It's like, oh, look at this, a scooter helicopter, So that was pretty fun. And yeah, we did that series for a little while, and his one buddy that I was mentioning, he did some skateboard tutorials. He never actually did tutorials on his feet, though. He demonstrated with his hands. But like I said, we were just kids, so cut us some slack, right? I tried looking for these videos. I couldn't find them anymore, unfortunately, but man, those are pretty fun. Those are good times, We did eventually drift apart, and fast forward to the next year, we moved over from the west coast of Florida to the east coast of Florida, and fast forward a little bit after that, and I'm already in high school, right, and it's 10th grade, and I heard about this class before 10th grade. It was called TV production. They also called it like studio production, video production, etc., etc., and I thought it was really cool, because up until that point, I was interested in making videos, right? Because the Scooter Masters video, and I have some like very old memories of me recording videos with my uncle. His name was Uncle Vinny, and we did role playing with my dolls and action figures, and we would record and make stories and make comic books like that. So it was inevitable that I would be drawn to a class like that. And essentially with this class, I signed up right away as soon as I heard it. And essentially with this class, there's 3 different rooms. So the first room is where they have all the computers. And with the computers, you have the computer software. We had, I think it was called Avid Media Production. It could go under a different name, but it is Avid. That's the primary name. I'll show a graphic on the screen if I happen to have it. And in the computer room, that's where you would learn the editing. That's where you would edit your videos and B-roll anytime that you did video projects. And in the next room, you had the sound room, the audio room, the video room, where you would do like the public broadcasting, the broadcasting on the live TV network of the school. And then in the next room, well, actually, this room was soundproofed as well. And in the next room, that's where you would have the talents, you know, the people that are starring in the videos. You would have them recording, you would have them speaking, reading the prompt, etc., etc. And in that room, you would cue talent, work the audio, make sure that it's actually, like, the tape is rolling, etc., etc. And I thought that was a really cool class. I loved it a lot. It was great, man. I think that was probably my favorite class in high school. And I took, let's see, 10th grade. I did it the next year as well, and I did for senior year. So I took 3 straight years. Honestly, if I heard of it sooner, I would have taken it in 9th grade as well. But yeah, around that time, I started up a new YouTube channel. And this is where I not edited, but this is where I uploaded my class projects, and I made a couple short films. Well, I made one short film in high school, and then when I went to college the next year, after dual enrollment, because dual enrollment, I got like a fifth of the 2 years of college done with that. But then the next year, I took video production class in college for the next 2 years, or not 2 years, but the next 2 semesters, because I had to take the first one, then the second one. They had the same thing in high school as well. And I used that channel to upload my short films and whatever class projects I had. And I still have a few of them left, so I don't know. I was thinking about maybe reacting to them with you guys at some point. We could possibly do a live stream, or maybe I'll just do a pre-recorded video and then just have like fancy editing. I don't know. If you guys want to see that, just let me know in the comments section down below. And also around this time, back in college, I took this one course. It was called Communications, and I met this one guy. His name was Tyler, I think, and he heard about me being a musician because I wrote this essay about Led Zeppelin's drummer John Bonham, because you know he's one of my biggest inspirations as a drummer, and I just love the way his drums sound. You know, they just have like a big, booming, larger than life sound, and they put it dead center in the mix. Plus, the toms on his kit were huge. Anyway, we were talking a little bit, and he told me that he had some buddies, and one of his buddies can sing, the other one could play guitar, and he himself, like, he knew some chords on the acoustic and whatnot. So he was like, hey, we should meet up, we should play, and maybe we can be a band, maybe we can make some music together. So that was a cool prospect, and I took him up on that offer, and we met up at his house the first time. This was back when I was still driving a car. I actually had this green Dodge Grand Caravan. It looked like it had a Hitler mustache. And the whole like front hood was just completely scraped off and had handprints on it. And it looked like a crack van. But I used it to load up my drums. And I would bring them over whenever we would have the sessions. And I actually do have a couple videos of us actually playing music. And I don't know, that could be another idea as far as, you know, like a reacting video. So if you want to see that one, also let me know in the comment section down below. So I played with them for a few months or so, but it wasn't quite working. And the main reason is that I felt like anytime I would go up there, we would predominantly like play video games, but not actually play. And plus they were smoking and drinking and whatnot. I wasn't doing either at the time, believe it or not. Okay, hold on a second. Poopy doopy. That was just a Walmart Spark order. It wasn't a very good one. I actually did one earlier in the middle of me recording. It was actually pretty good, dude. It was like $30+, and it only had to go like 3.8 miles one way. It didn't take very long. And I did have to use my cargo trailer because it did have a 32-pack of water, but, you know, whatever. Still, it was worth it. Anyway, what was I talking about? That's right. So, yeah, essentially, I don't think they took it as seriously as I did, so I just called it quits. I'm like, I can't keep doing this, man. I don't feel like we're really getting anywhere, so I'm just going to go my separate ways. And, you know, they understood, and I know at one point they were like, oh, we want you back, man, we want you back, but I haven't really kept in contact with them, so I don't know. That'll just be a what if, I suppose. So yeah, that whole band thing just didn't work out with them. And if we fast forward a little bit, about 2016, 2017, I just completely terminated the channel yet again. So this is time number 4, right? Yeah, time number 4. And around that time, I wasn't recording, I wasn't editing, I wasn't making videos, I just had no inspiration, and I was experiencing a bit of an identity crisis in my life because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, who I wanted to be, what is my niche, what's my purpose, any of that stuff. And I lost my best friend, my furry companion. His name was Bob. He had a little bobtail. Such a sweet boy, very smart. And he's one of those examples where I think if there is a God, if there are angels, they manifested like an angel or a man in a cat's body. There was just something very different about Bobby. So when I lost him, I was completely devastated. I fell into a deep funk. Around the same time, I had my first committed relationship with someone. Well, actually, it was my second one. But this one actually had a little longevity to it. And it was with my high school sweetheart. And, a little bit of drifting apart prior to then. We met back up in college, around that college time period. And, we went out for a little while. It wound up being very bad. We had a very bad breakup. And, we did eventually make up, though. We caught up a few years later. We talked everything out. And she's been one of my very best platonic friends that I've ever met, So some things just work like that. But anyway, going back to 2016, 2017, a couple months later, got in another committed relationship. This one was longer, this one was deeper, so it hurt even more when we broke up. And again, further cementing that whole identity crisis, lack of inspiration, I fell into another deep depression. This one was even deeper than before. I actually almost offed myself, and this was after attempting twice before. First time was back when I was 11. Second time was when I was 17. And the contemplation just hasn't really went away. That's just something you got to deal with the rest of your life. But I'm also too cowardly to act on it. So that's a bit of a godsend, I would say. I mean, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here, right? And I'm feeling a lot better since then, that's for sure. Even though I still have to deal with the voices from time to time, and sometimes I just get really depressed, but that's just something I got to keep dealing with. Anyway, all that stuff just culminated into the main reasons why I terminated the channel yet again, and just didn't make any videos, wasn't inspired to do anything. And yeah, that was one of the lowest points in my life, and thankfully, once you've reached rock bottom, you can only go up from there, right? So if we fast forward to 2019, I started a new YouTube channel, and this was after meeting my buddy Jesse. So I met him through another guy that I met in college. His name was also Mike, and he introduced me to this guy named Jesse. He was older, he had a lot of experience playing guitar, and he worked with other people with like making short films, photography, all that cool stuff. And plus he liked to drink beer and listen to Slayer. So I was like, oh yeah! This was back when I was drinking. I haven't done that in almost 3 years now, so maybe I'll make a video on that at some point. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. So I met this guy, Jesse, through my friend Mike at the time. This was late 2018, early 2019. He wanted us to meet up at his place so we can jam out, maybe culminate into some cool music, and maybe start a band or whatever. And we did that for a little while. And around that time, with this in mind, I actually started a new YouTube channel called Mike of the Beast, which is a play on words for the Exodus song Strike of the Beast, which is one of my favorite songs from Exodus. So, of course, I took inspiration from that. And each time that we met up and had a jam session together, I recorded using my camcorders, because I had a Canon camcorder at the time, the HR, or was it RX FH? I don't know. The RX HF 500, RF 500, I don't frickin' know. One of the older camcorders, you know what I'm saying? And I bought this cheap one from Vivitar, like the knockoff Walmart brand. I bought one of those, and I mounted one on my drum kit while the other one was facing towards us. So I had the one camcorder was attached to my drums facing towards Jesse, while the other one was facing towards us, the opposite direction. And we recorded our jam sessions, and I uploaded them on YouTube, edited them, and I did some bloopers and stuff like that. And that would be a really cool video series idea to react to. So, you want to see that one, you know the drill. And actually, I was so invested in this period of time, as far as the music and whatnot, that we actually moved in together. And, you know, fast forward a couple months, this is about July 2019? Yeah, July 2019. I was working at Target at the time, so I transferred my job up to Titusville. I still live here to this day. I moved in with him, and I mean, things didn't quite work out as far as the living process for all kinds of reasons. I'm not going to get into that, but I did move out, and I moved into a separate place. I moved in with my landlord that I still live with to this day, about 4 years later or so. So, that's cool. And, you know, I met Lucy, and Lucy's one of the most wonderful, endearing, lovely, empathetic souls I've ever met in my life. And I'm very, very happy to be her unkie. So, you know, when things didn't quite work out in the long term as far as that, I did terminate that channel. But if we fast forward a couple years after that, we're talking late 2021, going into 2022, I created a new channel also under the same name, Mike of the Beast. But it was for a different purpose. This time, I was more focused on making like fitness content. I was a fitness influencer, as you know, as they would say online now. And I made some fitness content, you know, I made some tutorials on how to do certain exercises. I picked some pretty fringe but interesting exercises like behind the neck lat pull downs, you know, lat pull down except it's behind you, or behind the neck shoulder press, which both of those exercises are really good. I like them a lot. I'll probably start doing them more. And I made some tutorials on those, how to do upright rows, because during that time, everybody was hating on upright rows. And I'm like, y'all just don't know how to do it. So, of course, I had to make a video on that, and New Year's goals and whatnot. I made a pretty decent amount of videos at the time. Home gym equipment, essentials, etc., etc. But I ultimately wasn't very happy with just the very script-heavy nature of the content and just the way I delivered the scripting. There's a time and place for a script, and I don't think it was quite appropriate with the way that I wanted to do these videos. So I just wound up not being very happy with that. And around this time, I was also on a pretty serious cut. Like, I got very lean, but I also got really flat because I didn't do any carb-up cycle, which in retrospect, I should have done that. That would have made my muscles pop even more. But I just kind of grew tired of the cut. I grew kind of tired of the content. I even grew just tired of the gym. So I took 3 consecutive months off. And I terminated that channel. So what is this, time number 6 now? And, you know, I almost quit YouTube completely. Like, I was on the verge of just completely shutting it all down. Because I felt like each time I try something was missing. You know, it's like there was competence with what I was doing. And there even was a sense of direction. But something was missing, you know? And I had to do a lot of soul searching to really figure that one out. And the biggest thing with the soul searching for me was I had to figure out, who am I? Who am I? What do I want to accomplish in life? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What's my niche? Yada, yada, yada. During that time period of soul searching, I had an epiphany, and I realized that I don't fit into any one real niche, you know? I'm into a bunch of different stuff. And instead of trying to create channels that are chasing trends, or it only fixates or focuses on one specific thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you do that, good for you, great job, keep going. Some people are just... Alright, looks like we're back. So, the GoPro Hero 11 Mini, it overheated. As you know, it's not particularly cool in here. There's not really much airflow going on, so of course it overheats. Even though it's only taken like 10-15 minutes for it to do so. It's not what I paid for, GoPro. Get your stuff fixed, please. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we? Anyway, so on and so forth. I had my epiphany, realized I don't fit into any one real niche, but I've got a lot to say about a lot of different things. So why not just take a crack at it? Just sort of whatever I'm drawn to at a particular time, whatever inspires me, and see what happens, right? And here we are. And on February 26th, 2023, Mike the Musical Vegan Beast was born. And this time, I was here to stay. But I actually took a while before I made any real content. So for a while, I was commenting and just lurking on different vegan YouTubers at the time, starting to build some connections with people and get out of my comfort zone because I wasn't doing much in the way of advocacy or activism prior to then, despite having been vegan for a considerable amount of time now. And I was even a moderator for someone at one point. Not going to mention their name though, because, not going to get into that. Anyway. At first, I was on the fence about whether or not I actually wanted to make content again, because I have a lot of different interests, hobbies, and just opinions and things to say on different subjects outside of that. But I wasn't really sure how to execute the ideas in video format. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And historically, I've always been my biggest critic. I'm my own biggest critic. I'm often my own worst enemy. I'm usually the one that overthinks things a lot or puts myself down more than anyone else. My mom can second that, and she's always telling me, like, Mike, you got a voice. Stop being so hard on yourself. You need to be forgiving of yourself when you come up short, because I have a habit of setting these impossibly high expectations at times. And it's like I get so hard on myself about that, and I really shouldn't be. Like, I need to be forgiving of myself and realize that I gave it all I got. I put my best effort. The intent was always there. My heart was in it. And if it was something to be done for someone else, it wasn't a lack of compassion or empathy for that person. But yet, it's a bad habit, and I'm still working on it to this day. But those are the things that initially held me back. But eventually, and this was about 4 months after starting the channel, I said, just do it. Just go for it, man. So I took the leap and I started my first video. And right out the gate, I released my first video, also known as My Vegan Testimony. And it was an overview of how, when, and why I became vegan. And the reception was mostly positive, and a lot of the vegan content creators and other vegan YouTubers on the platform, they gravitate to my channel. A lot of them are still here to this day too, like Ali, Decidedly Done, Vegan of Course, Sky, Cameron, Vegan for Kindness, etc. They were all drawn to that video at first, and I still connect to them to this day. So it was definitely a good video in that sense, and it was actually my second most successful video on my channel to date. But I did eventually take it down because of certain affiliations, certain people that I talked about, and I've distanced myself from those individuals. Not going to name names or anything. We're just going to keep it at that. And if it's any consolation, even though the video is not up anymore, my first couple Q&A videos, they go over why and how and when I went vegan, etc., etc. So be sure to check them out in this time card here once you're done with this video. And what else do I have to do? And about a month later, I proved to myself that lightning can strike twice, because this video also wound up being a hit. And it was the one that I did on the Vic Trip Titan, the box opening first impressions. And it didn't explode out the gate right away as far as having like crazy tons of views, but it just consistently got a lot of views throughout its life. Like, even to this day, I still get like 5, 10, 15 views a day with that video. And it wound up becoming the largest video on my channel. It's got, a little under 1,400 views or something like that as of right now. Mostly positive reception. And it helped plant the seed as far as any other bike-related content that I was on the fence about at first. But I'm like, I see that there are other delivery drivers on electric bikes, because as you guys are familiar by now, I do delivery work on my electric bike, like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats Shipped, Spark, GoPuff, etc., etc. More to come. But I was on the fence about that at first, but I decided from that point forward, I got a lot of inspiration. So I'm like, oh yeah, I think this would be a pretty cool video idea. Let's see what happens, right? And this video also proved that my audience, even though a lot of them came to my channel because I'm vegan and made that vegan testimony and, making vegan content, it proved to them that they'll tune in on whatever I make, regardless of the topic, regardless of the subject matter, just because they are genuinely interested in what I'm doing. So this video just kind of proved that, planted the seed of other video ideas to come. So there's that. And if we fast forward about 2.5 weeks later, we come to our third video of the channel, and the one that some people would say is my piece de resistance, otherwise known as the Big Picture Crop Death Debunk Must Watch, because, it was definitely a must watch. And I was just particularly interested in this topic of crop deaths because this argument, ever since the Ted Nugent, podcast with Joe Rogan, ever since then, this is like probably the most common argument against the vegan position. It's at least one of the most common anyway. And I was just genuinely curious about the validity of this position, which, as you may or may not know, oftentimes people will say vegans kill many animals, just as many animals, or even more animals than non-vegans do. So I had to look into that myself because I thought of that and I'm like, that sounds like a stretch, because if your diet and lifestyle choices are not killing animals, if they're not harming animals, at least directly, if there's no direct exploitation of animals, then how could we be killing more animals? In addition to the fact that anywhere between barely 1% to at most maybe 3% of the population is vegan to begin with. So those numbers didn't add up. So I was genuinely curious, and I wanted to look into the validity of that. But I also wanted to make a big picture view, right? It's not just about whether or not there's animals dying in the fields and trying to count how many of them. It's trying to look into what are these animals? Where is this stuff happening? Land use, resource use, water use, greenhouse gas emissions, pesticides, etc., etc. So if you guys haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a card right up here. That way you can check it out after this video. And yeah, that turned out to be another successful one too. It became a top 5 hit for my channel, mostly positive reception. And if I had to remaster a video, if I wanted to do a remake or a remaster of a video, it'd probably be this one, just because ever since then I've upgraded my production values, and I was using my camera phone at the time, and I was kind of just getting back those editing instincts from high school and college, so yeah, it's a little rough around the edges. But as far as the information, as far as all the hard work I put into it, I'm very proud of it, so it's definitely going to stay up on the channel for sure. I was alluding to this earlier when I was saying that the Vic Trip video helped inspire and plant the seed of me making other content specifically with bikes, or having bikes be an important component of it. If we fast forward about a week later, after that crop death video, that's when I released my first video series, which at the time I called it Delivery Biker Vlog, something like that. And I have renamed it to Thick Vegan Delivery Boy Vlogs, because, it rolls right off the tongue, and it's more fitting with just me being a thick vegan boy, because as you guys may know, I go to the gym so I can keep making those vegan gains.
Beef. What a relief. When will this poisonous product cease?
This was the first video series to show my audience just what I do to make a living, to make money, just earn income, etc., etc. And the video series, it was a bit of a sleeper hit at first. It didn't rake in quite as many views as my first 3. But nonetheless, several of the people that watched those first 3 videos on my channel, they gravitated towards this video series over time. And I've had a little bit of pushback as far as some vegans saying oh, you're supporting the exploitation of animals, or oh, you're not vegan because you're getting non-vegan groceries and takeout, when that's not the case, okay? And I've already explained this in a separate Q&A, and as far as the Q&A itself, here's another card. You can check that out after this video, and once you check out the other videos of the other videos, and the videos of the videos, and the videos... Whenever I'm getting into that zone as far as like my headspace, or if I'm like just making mistakes or stuttering like crazy or having a word salad. Always gonna be something. I think it's funny. But aside from that very sporadic pushback that I've gotten from a couple people, otherwise, most vegans understand my position. I've elaborated my position quite well, and the overall feedback and reception for the videos are mostly positive. A lot of them are actually just like 100% likes, so that's cool. And over time, the video series kept getting more and more views. So actually, my most recent 2 videos of that series actually got the most views in that series altogether. And the very latest one, the Thanksgiving challenge one, from the time you watch this video's uploaded. That's actually the 9th. I think I said it was like the 8th or 9th video of my channel's history to crack 100 views. And it's currently my most viewed video of this Thick Vegan Delivery Boy series. So I really appreciate the engagement, the viewership, guys. And you're going to hear that a lot because I really mean it. I really appreciate all of you guys' continued support of my channel. No matter what I'm up to, making vegan stuff, making bike stuff, making work stuff, making music stuff, etc., yada, yada, yada. The Thick Vegan Delivery Boy series also wound up being, I would say, probably the most pivotal point in the channel's career when it came to being especially inspired to up my game when it comes to editing, sound quality, visual quality, just overall production values. And as a result, it actually wound up being my biggest series to date so far. I mean, I don't know if it's going to continue being the biggest series to date, but hey, we'll see what's in store for next year, right? And of course, with that newfound inspiration, I had to work on some other stuff. So I actually wound up rolling out some other video series, or however you say it. And other examples of that would include gym stuff, which, that's in the works as well. Bike stuff, not just bike stuff as in like me, the Thick Vegan Delivery Boy, delivering stuff, but actual bike content. Some of the videos I've unlisted because I do plan to remake them. But otherwise, I have another video, like me just opening up the Baku cargo trailer that I've added as a valuable asset for my work. And, I've done a couple things with music. And my Q&A video series has been a bit of a hit as well. I would say out of all the videos on my channel, the Q&A videos probably have the best ratio of viewership to engagement. And general engagement being like just liking, commenting, subscribing, leaving corn in the comments or sharing, just all that good stuff. A reminder to do that, by the way. And just the culmination of all these video series and just whatever videos I post on my channel so far, they just help my audience. They help you guys to get to know a little more about me, my ethical positions, my hobbies, interests, the kind of work that I do, whatever talents I may or may not have. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And over time, you can see the general trend of my channel where just overall viewership, overall engagement per viewership has been on the rise. So again, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, words alone can't convey just my overall appreciation because I couldn't have done this, guys. I couldn't have done this without you guys. I really couldn't. And on that note, that takes us right into the 2023 channel milestones. And along the way, we eventually reached 100 subscribers on this channel. And as you guys may or may not have seen already, I did make a subscriber special. As you guys may or may not have seen by now, I made a subscriber special video. So if you want to get some good laughs and chuckles, be sure to check it out in this time card here. If I have any time card left over, whatever. Or I'll just leave it in the description. Or maybe I'll put it at the end of the video. I don't know. You'll figure that out. Let's see, another milestone I got. I managed to get 10 videos, or we did. Again, team effort. We managed to have 10 videos on the channel, crack 100 views plus each. 2 of which are unlisted, but still. One of which, the 1,000 plus views, that was the Vic Trip video. And 2 videos managed to crack over 200, which included the Vic Trip video. And that the Weak Scrawny Vegan Walks in the Gym video. If you haven't checked that one out, be sure to do so. And actually, another thing this year, I managed to get my first channel feature with someone else. And that was with Turning Veganese, baby please. he had me do the snare drum roll and just that funny bit with his Numquad of the Year 2023 edition. If you haven't seen that video, again, if I have enough room for time cards, I'll just put it right here, or I'll leave it in the link in the description box down below. And of course, with all this and you guys being a part of my channel, I've managed to really just create my own sense of community. And of course, again, I can't thank you guys enough. Your guys' continued support and participation in my channel, your camaraderie in the comments section and my premieres and what have you. That's really why I have the sense of community. And of course, I'm sure you guys also appreciate the fact that I'm just being myself, you know? And this channel has really given me a new outlook on life when it comes to, I can just be me. I can just voice how I feel, my perspective on things, work on just whatever I'm particularly drawn to or inspired to at a given point of the year or just any given point in my life. And you guys will tune in because you're actually interested in what I have to say, what I want to do, what I'm particularly drawn to at a given point. And I really appreciate that, you know? Like, it's not just one of those things where I'm making content as a social service, but it's building that community with people that actually value me for who I am. Because, you know, I've spent a very long period of my life not feeling that way. And I don't think it's any one particular person that made me feel that way, but it's, you know, like I said, I am my own, excuse me. I am my own worst enemy, but you guys are helping me overcome that because I'm able to put something out that you guys genuinely enjoy, that I put a lot of hard work and heart and effort into, that you guys appreciate. And your continued support and just constant feedback you provide for me really just helps me step up my game, provide content that you guys just genuinely want to watch, and all the while just being me. You know, this is one of those first and only times in my life where I feel like I can be myself and someone actually notices and cares, you know? So it's been a very different experience in that sense. And I really appreciate it, guys. I love you guys so much, and I just appreciate just everything you bring to me, you know? And if you guys weren't there to do that for me, I don't know how this year would have turned out, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now that we're sitting at just under 160 subscribers, I guess the real question is, what now? You know, what are the goals for the channel moving forward? So, as you guys may or may not know by now, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And why 1,000? Because that's the minimum that it takes for YouTube to monetize my channel. In addition to also getting, 4,000? Yeah, 4,000 public watch hours within 365 days. There's another milestone beforehand too, which is 500 subscribers and 3,000 public watch hours, in addition to uploading a minimum 3 videos within the past 90 days, which I can understand that. It's for the consistency. That goal, that 500 subscriber goal, that would allow me to offer channel memberships and, you know, just the ability for you guys to, I don't know, get funded perks and what have you. Which, by the way, if you don't want to do that, and if you want to, you know, if you do feel inclined to support me financially outside of channel memberships, since we're not quite there yet, you can always check me out on Cash App or Patreon, buy me some coffee, etc., etc. No pressure, and that's completely up to you. You know, I would still make content, and I would still continue to up my game, even if you guys didn't do that. So, you want to throw me a tip, you want to throw me a vegan bone, that's completely up to you. But essentially, once we get that 500 subscriber mark with the public watch hours, I can offer channel memberships, if that's up your alley, funded perks. And as far as 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 public watch hours, that would allow me to run ads on the channel and get paid for that, get paid for views and stuff. So that'd be great, man, because I would like to pay myself back by doing this kind of content and just continue to inspire me, motivate me, just continue upping the ante as far as everything, and maybe becoming more and more ambitious with how I tackle content, or particular subjects that I have an opinion on. So that'd be great. And as far as the content specifically that I'd like to do, I want to put out some more vegan content, of course. I'm trying to think about how I want to structure, maybe talking about individual topics, or maybe I can do a video where I'm just giving you guys my takes on specific subtopics within the vegan position, or maybe outside of veganism, like other social justice, like I don't know, LGBTQ plus, black people's rights, women's rights, just human rights in general, etc., etc. That'd be kind of interesting. I'll have to figure that out. Or if I'm just drawn to any one particular subtopic in the vegan conversation. Or, I don't know, could go even beyond that. And I was also thinking about, and Ulf was the one that gave me this idea. Ulf J, he's one of the guys that regularly shows up here. What's going on, buddy? Appreciate you watching the video. He gave me the idea of like vegan fitness and nutrition, because that seems to be relatively underexplored in the vegan community. Like, we have all these fitness content creators out there and all these plant-based influencers out there and fitness gurus, but not really vegan specifically. Like, there are some, but it just, again, it seems very underexplored, especially if they offer programs in their videos, which I feel more inspired than ever to do that, you know? So, in a way, things have kind of come full circle if I go down that, which I will. I definitely have some plans for that. So if you want to see that, be sure to stick around, part 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm also interested in other prospects like reaction videos. It could be me reacting to my own content of yesteryears, or maybe I can react to someone else's content, or I can have that mesh with live streams. Like, maybe I live stream and then react to other people's content, and we can watch together, something like that. Live streams, of course, I definitely want to do some live streams. And Cameron from Vegan for Kindness, he gave me the idea of doing live streams on my bike, like outdoor live streams, so I think that'd be a cool prospect too. I might even possibly do some gaming videos. There's one particular game I want to play again. It's Oddworld Soulstorm, because as you guys know, that's my favorite my all-time favorite video game series, Oddworld. I love those games, so maybe I can do something in that avenue. More drum covers, because I already uploaded one for Halloween, and I'd definitely like to do more. I got some songs picked out I'd like to play, and possibly skits. Maybe I can do skits in the videos, or maybe have videos specifically skits. And I got one character in mind. You know who else has one character in mind? My mom! Ooh! I love doing Muscle Man's voice, dude. No, I'm not gonna do it. And getting an actual collab video would be cool too. And I got a few people picked out in mind. I don't know if I want the video as in like a pre-record that's premiered, or to have it as a live stream, like maybe a planned live stream with Sky or Cameron or AJ. I was definitely thinking about that. I would like to do it maybe, this upcoming year. That'd be great. And I don't know, like any other ideas that you guys might have that you'd be interested in seeing me do, like continuing work vlogs and stuff, just let me know in the comment section down below, as I've said like 69 times in this video already. Technically, my Hero 11 Mini already stopped overheating, and it's technically charged, but I decided to say screw it. I was a little lazy, so I kept recording with the GoPro Hero 9, as you can tell, and, it still looks pretty good, right? And on that note, I'm going to say that's a wrap on today's video. I think that covers about everything. I gave you guys a little insight about just my humble beginnings with YouTube, and even a little before then, like childhood activities and hobbies that amalgamated into an interest of YouTube, which was still new at the time, and just having this identity crisis and uncertainty about what is it I wanted to do in my life with YouTube in general, or even outside of YouTube as well. But eventually figuring out from a combination of trial and error, and just learning about myself along the way, character growth, and eventually just taking that leap and deciding to own the decision and just go with it. And from that point forward, as of February 26, 2028, Mike the Musical Vegan Beast is here, and he's here to stay, and he's here to stay for many years to come. And I hope you guys join along with this ride with me, because it's going to be a long one. Going to be lots of up and downs, just like any roller coaster. But just like any roller coaster, it's going to be full of thrills too. It'll be quite the thrilling experience. And on that note, that's going to be a wrap on today's video. If you liked it, give it a lick. If you haven't subscribed yet already, I greatly appreciate it if you did. And ring that taco bell, that way you get notified the next time I upload. And of course, leave me some corn down in the comments. If you happen to see this feedback tab underneath any of our videos, whether it be me or just a fellow vegan friend that you like to watch on YouTube, just take a couple seconds to fill it out. I hear it's supposed to help as far as recommending our video to other people that haven't seen our channel yet or just haven't seen the videos yet. Get us on that algorithm. If you could do that for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want to help your boy out, if you want to check out some interesting resources and pages I got, you can find all that on my link tree. You can support me on Cash App. You can support me on Patreon. You can buy me some coffee. There's resources to help you and your family and friends go vegan. And I got my affiliate link for Stash. You want to check out a bank that can help get you some stonks, make some money, invest for your future, and do all that good stuff. And I don't know, you might find something else interesting over there. And of course, quick shout out to my regular subscribers and viewers. Everybody that likes my videos, they subscribe, they share, they leave corn in the comments. They do all that good stuff so I can keep making those vegan and algorithm gains. And I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I appreciate your continued support of my channel. And I'll see you next time. Take care.